Hello Darts Nuts, welcome to Darts Review channel. Now when I did the first part of the review on the Winmau Blade 6 triple core, I said I was going to do an update after 25 hours. I said I was deliberately not going to rotate it so I can concentrate on one area as much as possible, kind of like an intensive test. It's more down to the fact that I don't play probably as much as some people. You know, some days I might only get in about 35 minutes, 45 minutes, around that. Some days less and some days a little bit more. So that was the reason why I was doing that. But I've decided to do this update after 50 hours. I think I've done around 53 hours to be exact. And like I said, I've not rotated it, but definitely if you get your own board, you should rotate it often. So what I'll do is I'll show you the board, how it is now, and I'll just talk about my thoughts on it. Alright, so there's the whole board. Now we'll get zoomed in a little bit onto the top section. As you can see, there's some fibres being pulled out, but overall it still looks pretty good. There's a little bit of roughness on the spider, but there's no like major nicks or anything. And I think it's just down to the fact that the spider is so flush to the board and so like thin. So the spider is pretty good. But as you can see, you can't really see any holes there, so it definitely heals up the holes quite well. You might be able to see the odd one, but when you compare it with the section where I haven't used it as much, the holes are a little bit more prominent, and it's just mainly because I haven't broken in that area quite as much. And obviously once you break it in, it kind of loosens up the fibres, gets a little bit softer and all that. And that is the issue with this area. Now, I wouldn't say it was the firmest board to start with, but now that I've worn it in quite a bit, it seems to take no effort at all for the darts to go in. Now, as you can see, that went in quite easy. I'll just try to, let's have a look. Right, now that's in there. I'm going to see if I can push it in any further. No, it's not moving any further, so it went in rather easy there, and as you can see, that's how far it's gone in, so that's quite a distance. And if I compare that to the edge of the board, see, I must be hitting the backboard there, and to me that is a problem that I have noticed. The sound level, and I think it's the darts hitting the backboard because it's softened up so much, and to me it makes it less enjoyable to play on just because of the sound. And I think it's just down to the softness. Now if I go to the bottom area here where I've not used it as much, now it's taken a bit more effort to put in, and as you can see, it hasn't gone in as far, but I'll push it in as hard as I can. Yeah, so what that's quite a bit firmer because it's less used, so it's not as bad when it's new, but once it's worn in a bit more, it really softens up. And it's not so bad with these darts, but my other darts, the Predators, which have got a fairly short point, quite often I've noticed the darts going in right up to the nose, and it's not really good. But maybe I throw a bit harder than I thought. Some people say I do throw harder. I always thought I wasn't that much of a hard thrower. So if you were a hard thrower or you're using heavy darts, once you've worn this board in, bedded it in, I think it may get too soft and you may find that a problem. But like I said, it still looks okay. So if you're a light dart thrower or you just throw light, you'll probably have less of an issue and it'll probably be fine for you. But for me, although it looks still good, the sound just makes it a little bit less enjoyable to throw on, and I just prefer throwing on some of my other boards which are firmer. So there you go. Oh, one thing I would say as well, I'm still not really sure what that carbon layer is doing. it may be doing something that I have no way of testing. So I might do an update in another 6 months time, just to see once I've started to rotate it and play all around the board. But there you go, that's that first update now after 50 hours. Hope you've enjoyed watching the video, and happy darting.